This is an illustrated documentary series of the local and international travels of Dr. Jose Rizal from 1882 to 1896. Many of the landmarks and markers, photographs, and video clips shown in this series are the actual places mentioned in his travels, diary, and letters. Started in 2015, this 5-year documentary project is dedicated to the Filipino youths, patriots, and all non-Filipinos who propagate the teachings and ideals of the national hero. I highly recommend this documentary series to students and teachers as a companion reference in studying and teaching the life and travels of Dr. Jose Rizal. This series will bring everyone to where it happened, places where Dr. Rizal has visited, studied, and lived while working for reforms for his country. A 500-page coffee table book is bundled with these videos. Good luck and enjoy the series.
Vaarwel aan Betenland.
My name is Florentino Rodal. I teach at the Complutense University.
it, the castle is yours.
When you can buy this,
Yeah.
the castle is yours.
Yes. This is true.
My name is Gunther Hecker. I have been with the Knights of Rizal since 2002, largely because of my involvement in the Philippines, where I was working for 25 years with the Asian Development Bank. And through our friend Dr. Hack, I got involved in the Knights of Rizal, and then that enthusiasted me over the time. So, and I'm still continue to do that work. And I learn every day something new about Rizal.
What gave you the inspiration to join Knights of Rizal?
Originally I was asked to join because of my affiliation with the Philippines. I lived there, like I said, 25 years. Then I looked into the, into the invitation. I read a little bit on José Rizal, and then I got enthusiastic about it, about his life story, about his achievements, about his character. And then naturally, one important part is I'm coming from Heidelberg. So that is the, let's say, the outward motivation. So then I continue to study, and like I said before, every day you learn something new. Like I learned about what he resulted in Japan today. So it's very interesting. I have been an active member in the Knights of Rizal. Then I had been the area commander for Heidelberg, chapter commander for Wilhelmsfeld, and all the work related to that. But then I resigned from that position because of some conflict with the headquarters in Manila.
So for what have you learned being a member of Dr. Rizal, the Knights of Rizal?
From the Knights of Rizal, maybe only the fact that I got the obligation to read more about Rizal, and then it was Rizal itself who his love for freedom, his love against the so-called violent revolution, about his evolution. And in actual fact, he was here in Heidelberg, and maybe 40 years earlier, my own ancestor had started a revolution in this area against the noble class. And I know for a fact that the pastor, Ulmer, where Rizal stayed, he was also a favorite of that movement. So my thinking is to look into the aspect whether there is a connection, whether Rizal learned something from there and incorporated in his thinking. I have not reached any conclusion yet, but it's quite possible, and this is what keeps me running from intellectual point of view.
I have observed that the young Filipinos now are very, you rarely see them get connected with Rizal's teachings and principles. Do you think there's hope for these people, for young people, Filipino people?
In what way hope? That they recover that connection, lost connection again? That depends on the Philippine government. They have to promote it again. They are relaxed on that. I know from my many friends in the Philippines, their children do not know much about Rizal. They know, when I tell them, Blumentritt, you have a street there in the Philippines, they don't have the connection with Rizal. So it's a sorry state, but it's not only in the Philippines. We have the same thing in Europe, where the youngsters look more or less to the immediate past, not the long-term past, because time passes, and that's the call of the time, I guess. When you read Rizal's works, the situation, the social situation, is almost the same today as at that time. Just the church had been replaced by other things. But in actual fact, you could rewrite the story in today's terms. But from that angle, I think the Philippine youth should read Rizal. Only from that angle, to see they have not progressed in that regard very much.
Do you think the government programs are heading to the right path for young people, young Filipinos to be able to learn and appreciate teachings of Dr.
As an outsider, it's very difficult to criticize a government, but whether the government does enough for the youth. I think maybe not, but also not in Germany. They are not doing enough. What is enough? We don't know. But the fact, if you come to your main question, is Rizal living under the youth? Not so much, but it should, because the situation has not changed and they could learn from that. The youth, what I can say there is, they should read Rizal, analyze the situation, look whether the situation is the same at that time, who is responsible for it, look at the promises of the politicians, test them, do they live up to their word, do they live up helping the poor, helping to change the situation or not, and make their voting accordingly.
If you will meet with Dr. Rizal now, like suddenly he appears and sits there, what would you like to ask him?
How do you manage to learn German in 4 weeks? And Japanese and whatever he knew. It's amazing. I would like to, if I meet him today in his time or him today in our time.
In our time.
In our time. Then I would say, please go back to the Philippines and try to change.
you.